Korracast, assemble!
Hey, you guys seen the Avengers?
Hey there folks, welcome back to another Korracast. So good news, we finally reached our 1,000 subscriber mark, so good job! Special thanks to YouTube user Yanksamuse, who was our 1,000 subscriber. So we'll have the details for the prize drawing later on in the episode.
And we just set up a Twitter and Google+, and we're about to set up a Tumblr account, whatever that is.
So before we start our discussion, we'd like to give a shout out to powerchords.com. The link will be in the description. And it's just an awesome website that reviews games, movies, TV shows. In fact, they just had a really good article on Legend of Korra and what they thought about it. So yeah, definitely check them out.
And with that, let's get into this episode.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Oh boy.
In the 5th episode of Legend of Korra, The Spirit of Competition, Korra is unsure of how to approach her crush on Mako. Pima gives her some advice, telling her that she should tell Mako exactly how she feels. Later that day, Korra, Mako, and Bolin show they are improving their team dynamic and easily win the first round of the championship tournament. Afterwards, Korra expresses her love for Mako, who explains that he doesn't feel the same way. Bolin asks Korra on a date afterwards, and she accepts after saying that Bolin really does like her. On their date, they meet a guy named Tano, whose team, the White Falls Wolfbats, have won the championship tournament the past 3 years in a row. Later that night, Mako comes up to Korra and explains to her that he does like her, but he likes Asami too, so he is confused. Korra then kisses him just as Bolin is walking up to give her flowers. He runs away heartbroken. During their next match, the Fire Ferrets are completely out of sync, but Korra wins the match for their team at the last second. As Korra heals Bolin, they see the White Falls Wolfbats win their match with a triple knockout in one round, leaving the opposing team seriously injured. Korra looks worried as she understands that they play the Fire Ferrets in the finals.
Ooh boy, the spirit of competition. Did either of you actually expect this to go this much into the relationship?
I mean, I was prepared at some point in the series to get through all of this kind of stuff, but not in such a quick, straightforward manner.
This was like in the Wonder Years when Kevin was into Winnie, but he went out with Becky Slater to make her jealous.
I'm really for Bora, which is Bolin and Korra. I really think they have a lot of good chemistry. Bolin is a really energetic, happy guy, and he picked Korra up when she was down.
I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna take it and I'm going there.
Don't go there.
Twilight.
Get up.
Why would you even say that?
Let's have this conversation, because when we watched this episode and we watched it with your sister, she said it's like, Mako's kind of like Edward and Bolin's kind of like Jacob. And I can kind of see where she's coming from. We've got the quiet, mysterious guy, and we've got the nice, like, guy who's probably better for her.
You never compare Korra to Bella.
So Bolin.
He is a hilarious character, which I also want to bring up that this episode was probably the funniest episode.
Now, but what are the chances that you actually think that Korra and Bolin would actually get together, though?
It's not gonna happen, and I really hate it because Bolin's that good guy who really does care about her, and he shows that he cares about Korra. When Mako is kind of like laid back, he doesn't want to show his feelings too much because he's too much of a cool guy. Yeah, girls are attracted to the bad boys. So
well, okay, yeah, but it seems like Bolin is not like a leading man like Mako is. You know what I mean? In terms of like story. He's kind of like the fun side character.
Right.
Not,
Well, this showed that Bolin is ready to step up and take leadership roles. Like, especially in the pro betting match, Bolin's like, your head's not in the game, let me take this. And he actually ended up saving the Fire Ferret team.
The thing is that, I don't know, I think there's more to Mako than is leading on. I actually think he is much more caring and he's a much more tender character than he wants to show. But a lot of times when you have siblings and they go through a traumatic experience in their childhood, it's usually the older one that is affected more. And it could be that, because they lost their parents and they had this upbringing, that he is just used to closing off his feelings. I don't know if that's something that they consciously wrote into this story, but it could be that he's just not used to showing people how he feels or talking out his feelings or emotions.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. Mako had to basically be an older brother and father sort of to Bolin. So not only did he have to kind of be stronger and like kind of hide his feelings a little bit more from Bolin, he also had to become more nurturing and caring because he had to take care of him. So, I mean, does that mean that you're thinking Mako and Korra? That's what you're going for?
Ryan, what do you think about the situation?
Like, I think Korra's character is still developing so much. It's too hard to say who she is a good match for this early on. I mean, the obvious answer does seem to be Mako because, she wants him. You know, so, and I like Korra, so I want her to get what she wants. That doesn't mean that's necessarily the best pick for her. Does that make sense?
I don't even think that is the best match for her. On that one date that Bolin and Korra went on, they showed that they liked the same things. They had great chemistry.
Yeah.
They were both burping together.
It's the difference between the friendly kind of love, the like I feel comfortable around you, versus the kind of more romanticized fairy tale love.
One reason I'm okay with Bolin always being rejected by Korra is that if Bolin reacts the way that he does always in this episode, that I'm willing to see him get rejected continually.
I was really conflicted during that scene because I really did feel bad for Bolin, and that's the most I've ever felt about that character, because before then he seemed very one-dimensional to me. And a lot of people are comparing him to Sokka, and Sokka at the very least he had his own struggle. He was trying to prove himself to the tribe and to his dad, and he had his serious arc. So we haven't seen that with Bolin yet, and this is the first moment where I'm like, okay, all right, the guy, he's a real person.
I mean, I think he's just a character, just a person that wears their emotions on their sleeve.
I felt like that was the case in this entire episode. I mean, to see Korra just come out right and say it and be like, I like you. I was like, that took me off guard because it took her 5 episodes to do that, or it took Aang 3 seasons.
Well, one of the big differences between this show is that Avatar: The Last Airbender was about preteen love.
In Avatar, okay, yeah, they're on a grand adventure and they're trying to save the world from evil, but put things in context, they'd be in middle school passing notes to their classmates.
Rather than kind of like beating around the bush for a whole season, like, oh, tensions, they just lay everything out on the line.
So what else happened in this episode?
When Korra and Bolin actually meet Tano for the first time, he calls Korra the Avatar, which, as we know, is how they pronounced Avatar in the Last Airbender movie.
Possibly another stab at M. Night Shyamalan?
I think it was just a punch to the face.
Maybe not a punch, maybe just like a little jab.
Speaking of Tano, you should totally dress like him for Comic-Con.
That's a bad idea.
You're a bad idea.
A lot of you guys in the comment section actually were talking about Yukon?
Yukon, yep.
Yukon is it? Yeah, it was actually something that we did come up with, but congrats to everyone else who actually put 2 and 2 together. But I think we can pretty much at this point agree that that was the 4th dude in the flashback from the last episode.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw this out there. Tenzin. Another love.
It's Lin Beifong. It has to be Lin Beifong.
What if it was?
You saw that awkward moment between them.
It was awkward. I think there's definitely something else with his character going on. If not with Lin, then something. I mean, what if Amon's his kid or something? I don't know. That's crazy, but yeah, I'm just saying. That moment was put in there for, I think, more than just to teach Korra a lesson.
There probably could have been anything else they could have done to give her the courage to go tell Mako. Rather than have Tenzin's wife, who hasn't said more than a sentence in this series so far, to have this whole story. Anyway, so we got some love in this episode. We
got some love.
Overall, what do we think of this episode?
It was a good episode to like really flesh out the love triangle that's happening.
Personally, for me, I loved seeing the romances develop and the drama.
Once Amon gets involved, who knows what's gonna happen?
Oh boy.
He's gonna tear apart this love triangle.
He's gonna take away Korra's capacity to love.
That's the worst energy bending of all.
Alright guys, welcome back to Prize Corner. It's been a while, I know, but you guys finally made it to 1,000 subscribers. So to celebrate, we're going to have a random drawing. We're going to be giving away that poster that we mentioned a few episodes ago, and we're also going to be giving away a custom DVD that we'll be making that has the 2011 Comic-Con Legend of Korra panel, and it'll also have a few other extra goodies that we're going to be filming for you guys. So to be part of the drawing, what you got to do is send us a private message on YouTube with the words Flameo Hotman in the body of the message. Flameo Hotman private message if you want to be considered for the drawing. We'll be doing the drawing in the next episode of Korracast.
Flame me out!
For this week's viewer response question, we want to know, who will Korra end up with? Mako? Bolin? Somebody else entirely? Or maybe nobody? This question can refer to who you want to see her end up with, who you think she was going to end up with, but either way, let us know why you say what you say, and you can also open that up to any other kind of shipping possibilities, such as who Mako, who Bolin, just basically your shipping theories. Anything goes in this one.
Alright, with that, let's look at last week's responses.
Zero Love, Zero Peace, Zero Fashion wrote, I think Yukon was some power-hungry villain that was trying to take over. I think that something went down with Toph and he killed her and Aang wasn't able to stop him, which would explain why Chief Beifong has a resentment towards the Avatar. Narakis Phoenix wrote, the flashback Korra had was of Yukon's trial. Yukon was using his bending irresponsibly, and Aang's leap over the rail was to take away his bending. Amon saw Aang remove Yakon's bending, and Amon did some research. Air for Swan wrote, Yakon is the unidentified person in the flashback, I bet, and in the flashback scene, the old Avatar gang are trying to figure out what to do with him. While they probably disagreed on his sentencing, I don't think it caused too much of a schism. Lin's apathy towards Tenzin was probably one half irritation with the stir Korra caused, and one half resentment resulting from what I think is a shared history between the two. Kitty Cat CM wrote, the flashback can mean a lot of things. Part of me even wonders if Amon somehow intended for her to see those things. It's quite possible his conflict with the Avatar dates back to Aang's time. Also, the only people shown are the ones who are assumed to be dead. It makes me wonder how they died and if Amon somehow had some connection with it.
So you guys know who I want to see like hook up and get together? Pabu and Naga. Yeah.
What?
No, yeah, I'm serious. Like, remember episode 3 where they're like both drinking out of that fountain? There was chemistry there. I mean, Pabu, he's kind of like he's fun, he's spry, he's a good guy. And Naga is like a more motherly figure. I feel like there's love there. I don't know.
Ryan, what are you talking about?
You know what he's talking about. He's talking about real love.